Students, this is Dr. Suvarna Gurkute, Associate Professor from the Dhananjay Gadge College of Commerce, Satara, a constituent college of Karmavir Bhavrao Patil University, Satara. Today we are going to study two organizations, namely COP and WAME. COP stands for Committee on Publication Ethics and WAME stands for World Association of Medical Editors. So let us begin. Let us first begin with COP. As I said, it's a non profit organization which was founded in the year 1997. It's being dedicated in promoting integrity and ethical behavior in scholarly publishing. It mainly addresses the breaches of research and publication ethics. It's, of course, a voluntary body whose aim is to develop good practice, a good discipline among the researchers and the stakeholders about publication ethics. Its guidelines are developed from preliminary version which was drafted by the individual members of the committee, and then they were submitted for consultation, and they have addressed various issues, and they have issued certain guidelines about various points which are required by the researchers should study upon. So we are going to see that as well. So these guidelines are useful for whom? Of course, they are useful for authors, editors, readers, and publishers. Their job is to prevent misconduct. And who can be a member of COP? Its membership is open for all the editors, publishers, researchers, institutions, and all the stakeholders who are involved in scholarly publishing. Now, let us go through the objectives of COP. They provide guidance and support to editors, publishers, and all the stakeholders regarding how to develop ethical standards and how to publish original research. They help in addressing publication ethics issues effectively. Whatever issues are being emerged in publication, they are addressed by the COP organization. They provide education and also they conduct various training programs on publication ethics. Now, this has been done purposely because they want to create awareness among the stakeholders so that they can understand that ethical standards or ethics in publication, they are how much important or how much significant they play a role in. So they also develop understanding and awareness among the stakeholders. As I said, they contribute to the development of policies and standards. So as I said, that they have published their guidelines. In that, everything is being clearly mentioned, how to deal with the data, plagiarism, everything is clearly explained in the policies and the standards and the guidelines published by them. They aim to promote ethical conduct in scholarly publishing. They advocate for transparency, integrity, and ethical behavior in publication. They also conduct research on emerging ethical issues. So, they have also engaged themselves in conducting research on whatever ethical issues are there. They also develop resources to address publication ethics and challenges. Now, as I said, that they have addressed certain things. So, accordingly, one by one, we are going to see what are those. So, the first one is data analysis. Now, every researcher collects the data, analyzes it, interprets it, right? So, whenever you are collecting the data, the source of data has to be mentioned. Data should be appropriately analyzed, and whatever sources and methods are used to obtain the data and analyze the data, they should be fairly disclosed. Then whatever explanation, that means whenever you are excluding some of the data, you should give an detailed explanation about what is the reason why you have excluded that data. Also, whatever methods you have used for data analysis must be explained in detail and they should be referenced. The research should explain the interpretation of the study done. So researcher has to also explain what is the interpretation of the study. Then let us see about peer review. Now these are the guidelines issued for the reviewers and the editors. So whenever a research article is being handed over to reviewers, the confidentiality in the assessment of manuscript has to be maintained by the reviewers and the editors as well. The submitted manuscript should not be copied. That means the editors and the reviewers should not copy the original work of that author. The reviewers and the editors should also not make any use of the data without the permission of the author. That means it is not allowed. It is not in the part of ethics. That means you can say it is unethical whenever you are using the data of the author without his permission. Reviewers should provide a speedy, accurate, unbiased, and justifiable reports of the article which is being reviewed. If reviewers suspect that there is any misconduct created or done by the author, then they should write in confidence to the editor. So directly the reviewers should contact the editor that if they are suspecting the research work, they should inform it to the author so that certain action can be taken against the author, or he should be instructed for the right things. Journals should provide regular audits of their acceptance rates and publication times. Then come towards the next point is redundant publication. Now what does this mean? It is a redundant publication. It's supposed to be occurred when two or more papers have same sort of hypothesis, data, discussion points, and conclusion. That means when two papers are similar, we can call it as redundant publication. So, published studies should not be published repeatedly. That means once you publish your research work again and again, you should not publish in different journals. Then, republication of paper in another language is acceptable. Now, for example, if you have published your research work in one journal which is in English language, and then again if you have translated it in Marathi, suppose, and then published in another Marathi journal, then it is acceptable, provided that there is a full disclosure of its original source at the time of submission. But when it is acceptable, when you disclose its original source whenever you are submitting it. At the time of submission, the author should disclose the details of the related papers, even if they are in different languages and similar papers in the press. Okay, so whenever the author is going through or whenever he is referencing, he has to disclose which papers he have gone through or he has referred through. Maybe even though they are of different languages, their references have to be included. Then plagiarism, as the word is very familiar to all of you. What does it mean? It refers to unreferenced use of others' published and unpublished ideas without their permission, without authors' permission. If you make use of their data and you don't refer them, then it is called as plagiarism. So, plagiarism can occur at any stage of planning, research, writing, or publication, and it applies to both print and electronic versions as well. All the sources should be disclosed, and if large amount of other people's written work or material is being used, then you require their permission. Whose permission? Your author's permission is required if you are making use of large amount of data of that author. So this was all about COP. Now let us go through the another organization which is WAME. Now the pronunciation